Alright guys, this is the 50mm 1.8 lens. I want to go over it real quick. This is a really nice lens that you need to have in your bag. It can help you out in low lighting situations. It can also be used as a portrait lens on a digital camera, especially because it's about 75 millimeters in actuality when you put it on a digital camera. So you can find this lens on the internet, or you can also go to a camera store. They should have it new or used in the $100 to $130 range somewhere. Um, this lens can go down to 1.8, which is an extremely fast aperture setting. You can get pretty decent shots in low lighting situations without a flash with this lens. It's just one really nice lens. Now, one thing about this lens, I very rarely shoot it at 1.8, okay, because of how shallow the depth of field is. The depth of field, you can have someone's nose in focus and their eyes are out of focus, or you can have their eyes in focus and their nose is out of focus if you're up close enough to them shooting a portrait. So 1.8 is usually not the best setting unless you really know what you're doing. You got some experience shooting at 1.8. Also, the lens is not as sharp at 1.8 in my experience. Okay, I find you need to bump it up just a little bit. Somewhere closer to 2.8 would probably be better if you're trying to get a really sharp picture. But you don't have to go all the way up to 2.8 to get a sharp picture. You just have to, use the lens and get familiar with it and see how it reacts with your camera and your lighting situations to give you a sharp picture. This lens, it can also be used for shooting action shots in like a basketball gym or something like that. Okay. However, it does not give you a lot of zoom, so you would need a pretty high megapixel camera to be effective, with that lens shooting such things. All right. Now, it is good for shooting team pictures. Okay. You probably want to bump up the aperture a little bit because you don't want to have the front row in focus and the back row out of focus and your coach is out of focus. But it can be used for team pictures. You have to step back a little bit because it is at 50 millimeters, and on a digital camera it's going to be at about 75 millimeters. Okay. But overall, this is a really nice lens. You really want to have this lens in your bag if you're going to do sports photography or if you're going to do portrait photography. It's and for the price, I mean, you can't beat it. There's another 50 millimeters, like a 1.4, and I mean that lens, I doubt you could get it for less than $800. You may be able to find it for 5 or 6, but the 50 millimeter 1.8 lens, you gotta have that lens. All right. I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.